Hi there, this is Kristen. Welcome to another process video. And today I'm working on another Halloween layout, and I am using Doodlebug Designs Hey Pumpkin collection. I actually just purchased this collection. Kind of hard to get your hands on it and like a complete set, so I kind of just parsed together what I could get. And so anyways, I wanted to kind of do like a little bit of a banner type layout, and so there was a whole sheet of these border strips. So I essentially just cut those and then cut the strips in half. And then I'm adding, like a little fishtail to the end of it. The background paper is kind of like a white cardstock with like some little ghosts on it. And then the pieces that you see me laying out here are Doodlebug Designs Chit Chat die cut pieces. So essentially anytime you buy Doodlebug Design, they have this Chit Chat die set pack. It's always like kind of like wordy pieces, so it's a lot of like, where you would find your titles and things like that. So I am going to be documenting a couple pictures of us recently here with our trunk or treat. I go all out with trunk or treat every year, and so it is a Minecraft theme, which my oldest son had picked out. So trunk or treat was the perfect title for this. So the two boys went as Minecraft characters, and then my daughter went as a vampire. So I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I want this title. I thought initially I wanted it over here, but you'll see it'll move. And I did decide I wanted to kind of move these up a little bit just so that they weren't, as long. I do like the title here, but you'll see why I move it here in a moment. I really did like it there. And I was holding it up because I was contemplating like popping it up on foam just so it would kind of stick out from those pieces and kind of draw your eye to it. So I'm going to start pulling out some die cut pieces. So this was just a different pack, so it wasn't part of the Chit Chat. Just really cute pieces. Doodlebug, all their ephemera pieces are always so cute. So this is why I decided to move the trunk or treat. So I really like this little ghosty with the cat, with the car, because I was like, well, we were trunk or treating, and since like the trunk looks decorated, I just thought that was appropriate. But obviously with it next to that title, it was just two big pieces right next to each other, and so I'm kind of like reworking it, trying to figure out where exactly, do I want things placed. And I'm sorry for the afternoon light coming in. I had the curtains had kind of pulled back a little bit, so I decided that this is where it's going to land. So that's where the title will land. I like it there. I think it looks good there. And these little pumpkins are just so cute with their little smiley faces. And so I'm going to do like a very symmetrical layout. I feel like a lot of time it depends on the collections. I really feel like with Doodlebug, I oftentimes want to do a very symmetrical, very clean layouts, just because everything's so symmetrical with the collections. And, I just feel like with those particular collections, it's just more pleasing to the eye. I don't do a lot of distressing and things like that with Doodlebug. And so I decided to switch out a couple of these pumpkins. So that one I did switch out with the little pumpkin with the candy in it, since we were trunk or treating. Work on a couple of these little spiders. I'm going to put a couple little bats here, and you'll see I pull in that pumpkin with the cat. And I end up switching it to the other side since the truck was on that side with the cat in it. So just to kind of balance it out, so I didn't have a cat on the same side. And then I'm just going to layer a couple pieces here behind the truck. So put a little pumpkin there. I'll pull in a little like black and white kind of, it almost looks like a peppermint piece, but so there that is, just to kind of add a little bit more to that truck. And then there's these little star cutouts, die cut pieces, so I'm going to work those around on the page. And then I typically am, I really like borders. Not all the time necessarily on layouts, but especially with like a layout where it's predominantly like the background's white. So I did add this star paper, so that was in the collection too. So it's just black paper with a bunch of different color stars on it. And here are a few close-up shots. I really thought that this turned out really cute, and I appreciate you for coming by to watch another process video.